Good day to all. Today the presentation will be conducted for the company Brandix and a business plan will be developed. So our business plan is all about Brandix exporting to a new market with their existing products, which is market development. By exporting to France, they will be able to reach out into new markets and also will be advantageous for them to globalize into cost-drive industries. This is the outline that we'll be talking about today in this presentation. So Brandix is supposed to be the #1 exporter of the apparel industry in Sri Lanka, and this was recognized by the Export Development Board. These are some of the brands which Brandix has already been catering to. When talking about the sector of the Brandix company, they are mainly into developing, manufacturing and marketing. And some of their products will include casual wear, intimates, sportswear and etc. When talking about the finishing of their products, they have ties and dyes, sandblasting and so on. These are the things which differentiates Brandix products from any other apparel company. When moving on to their vision and mission, their vision is to be the inspired solution of branded clothing. Brandix is one of the companies who are reliving and living their vision already in the present world. The mission is to lead, to listen, to strive, listen and inspire. These are the objectives that we have come up with in order to implement the strategic plan. Increasing market share by 5%, and another objective will be increasing customer demand by 4% within the year. Shown here is the current organizational structure. As you can see, Brandix already has a tall structure. Analyzed here are the stakeholders which will be affecting Brandix in the current strategic plan. Where their stakeholders will be customers, suppliers, employees, shareholders, local community and the banks. Categorized here are all the stakeholders according to power and interest. Due to the time constraint, I will just explain the international government of France, which will be categorized according to requirement, expectation, internal law, external, power influence and commonality conflict. Their main requirement is to charge relevant taxes and monitor violations. And when it comes to commonality and conflict, they would require financial balancing, bargaining for high premium and lower payables. Environmental analysis. The tool used for the environmental analysis is the PEST. The political aspect of France will be that they are planning on tightening the fiscal policy because France has been one of the highest in their public sector debts. So as you can see, France was in 1995, they were at the range of 60 and 65. Whereas now in 2017 they have reached up to 77.7. Economic. These are the rest of the characteristics of PEST due to the time constraints. In social, population is averagely 65 million, and also male generations generates 32% of the revenue than the females in the apparel industry. Then moving on to SWOT. The main strength of Brandix is that they have a very strong vision and they incorporate teamwork. Teamwork is the main success of Brandix and their long-standing reputation of the product. When you say Brandix products, they are known to be a most quality and designed and very unique product in hand. One of the weaknesses is that they have a tall structure. As shown before, they had a tall structure, so communication between the top level and the operational level is going to be difficult. And the threats. One of the major threats is that Paris is the capital of fashion in the world, and therefore intense competition will be present. But however, there is a feeling that Brandix will be able to overcome this due to their long-standing reputation and the quality of the product.
So with this new strategy of doing business with France, we have identified the main key factors that have an impact on the business operations of brandix. Each of these key scenarios are being expanded and explained from the business impact perspective as well as with the usage of the uncertainty metrics. The map shows the natural disasters in red marks, whereas the blue color part is where the earthquake that took place in France with a magnitude of 3.3 in December 2017. During all these natural disasters, the firms that have been operating in these regions was ill prepared to cope up these changes. To overcome these natural disasters, we have developed a disaster management plan which includes procedures, training and guidance to be developed to enact on emergency that require to be planned, take necessary measures and implemented and monitored on the brandix warehouses. So as you can see in this slide, these are the steps that will be used to use when in an emergency. Starting from maintain sufficient inventory of emergency response equipment and ending up with facility management. We have also used VRI analysis to identify whether the firm's internal resources has the capabilities and could be a source for the sustainable competitive advantage. So as per the VRI analysis, it shows that the key resource that would bring brandix the long-term core competitive advantages are the green concept and tailored products. With moving into this new strategy, it will increase the market proximity and speed in response. This will enable the buyers and customers to touch and feel the products where tangible process comes into play. And also when doing business with France, brandix get the opportunity to enter into a new market where they can recruit employees with special skills and innovative ideas. They also take steps to reduce the cost by waste management, which is a competitive advantage over other firms. As standing out uniquely being an eco-friendly approach, this results in a source for recycling the energy recovery. Now I will be handing over the presentation to Devi.
Thank you, Ishita. When talking about value creation, the brand brandix is known for the value itself. It is known for delivering high quality materials and textiles around the world. Another point would be exceptional stitching techniques. As Mr. Omar says, they are stitched for perfection. The quality of the material used in the textiles are also another value creator. When talking about value chain, inbound logistics, operation, outbound logistics and services, those are the primary activities and supporting activities. And the primary activities, inbound logistics, brandix has their own subsidiary that provides them materials. 45% of their materials come from their own subsidiary. Operations, they stitch their products at their own plants, which is 42 plants around the country in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and India. Outbound logistics for France would be from the port of France to the warehouse that brandix has, and the marketing and sales, I will talk about it later. Supporting activities. The infrastructure would be the warehouse rented in France. Since brandix is using a distributor to supply their products, they will only need a warehouse to store their products. Human resource management. Through brandix way of human resource management, the effective communication, they have implemented effective communication and training will be provided to employees in France also, like in Sri Lanka, which is 20 hours per year. Moving on to Porter's five forces analysis. Due to the time constraints, I will talk about only three. Talk about the bargaining power of suppliers. bargaining power of suppliers are really low. Since brandix own their own supplier, so they do not have much to bargain for. So they have long and healthy relationship with the suppliers. They are very flexible and offers discounts when they are taking from outside, and 45% of their materials come from their own supplier. When moving on to threat of new entrants, since France is a highly competitive market that has luxury brands, the threat of new entrants are low. Customers demand high quality products, and to produce high quality products, there is a higher initial cost that a firm would incur to enter the market. Then moving on to bargaining power of buyers. Bargaining power of buyers is high because of they choose the highest quality products when it comes to clothes. Paris is the fashion capital of the world, so they always concerned about the ongoing trends, and the demand varies from one brand to another rapidly.
So when it comes to brandix product life cycle, it differs accordingly with each product, as brandix manufactures and exports garments such as Victoria's Secret, Pink, M&S, DBA, CK, PVH, etc. As you can see in this slide, the Victoria's Secret product is in the maturity state, VS Pink is in the maturity, M&S maturity, DBA growth, CK maturity, PVH growth. So likewise, so exporting to France will be the best opportunity to regain the strengths and retain all the brands in the maturity stage for future as well. The other methods that the brandix will focus on to remain in the same maturity stage is that grow the woven parts or the woven pants business for both CK and heritage brands. Now I'll be handing over the presentation to David.
Thank you, Chitra. Now I'm going to talk about the firm's generic strategy. When talking about the firm's generic strategy, we have chosen cost leadership as the firm's strategy. The scope would be a broad target audience, and since brandix is specialized in producing, we can produce at a very low cost. So cost leadership would be the firm's generic strategy. In order to achieve the cost leadership strategy, the firm should have the competitive advantage. The competitive advantage of the firm is producing the best quality products at a lower price. Moving on to the next slide, the strategic direction of the firm would be market development. Market development would be providing the same product to a new market. The new market is France, and through market development, it would increase the ease of access, capture new markets, and globalization in cross-drive industries, since brandix can produce their products at a lower cost. Moving on to the next slide, and why we have chosen France, we are going to talk about here. France is well known to the fashion industry. Brandix produces clothes with higher quality, but brandix does not have established themselves in France. So that's why we are going to France, and Paris is also known as the fashion capital of the world, so we are going to make our presence a statement on Paris. So in recent research, it has shown 43% of France GDP comes from fashion and textiles. So we are going to hinder that opportunity and make ourselves present in France. Other countries who have already established in France would be China, Italy, Belgium and India. Through their new technology for innovative products, that is sportswear, brandix also are planning to make innovative products through sportswear, such as heart rate sensors on their clothes and much more in France.
When talking about the growth share metrics, these are few of the brands of brandix that we have classified according to the relative market share globally, the growth percentage, the expected market share in France, and the expected annual sales. So we have decided to go with Calvin Klein and Victoria's Secret, since they generate 2% and 50% of growth, and also they 8 million and 15 million of profits. When considering the segmentation of the market, we have divided the market according to the geographical factors. So according to the market research, Paris has the high-end customers in that city. So they would prefer more designer costumes than anyone else. So our target would be the customers around the city of Paris. And furthermore, the marketing mix will be created accordingly. The marketing strategy consists of the 4 P's. The product and price will remain the same, which will be the existing products of brandix. And when it comes to place, we would prefer to go online. And the fashion shows would be a way of promotion. These are the values in which brandix would want all their employees to follow. Integrity, customer-focused delivery and profitability, learning and development, ownership and commitment, and teamwork. They would not want to change the existing value system because they want to keep that Sri Lankan root in the company and also to retain their business reputation.
In order to operate in the international market, we have to make some few changes to the organizational structure. Brandix has a tall organizational structure, but we have extended the organizational structure by adding a new international manager who will be operated in Sri Lanka, and the team will be led by a chief HR manager, recruitment and employment, training and development, and employee relationship manager.
The organizational structure was developed according to the HRM strategy. It says that 2 executives will be recruited along with 2 assistants and 6 to 10 laborers in order to increase the productivity and help with the production. Also, awareness programs will be held after the recruitment process has been done in order to make them aware of what our new targets and strategies will be. When holding meetings, the brandix researchers have found that big meetings with a large amount of people is not going to help. They prefer individual attention with just 10 to 15 people. And performances will be reviewed every 6 months, and reward schemes will be awarded according to the performance individually. And this listed here are the roles and responsibilities of each HR manager and director.
When talking about the firm's infrastructure, since brandix is manufacturing the products in Sri Lanka, they will only need a warehouse in France. The warehouse will be close to the port, only 8 kilometers. That will take only 12 minutes from the port to the warehouse. And it is also close to the distributor's warehouse. As it's seen here, this is a proposed sample of the warehouse, and the outside of the warehouse would be like this. Moving on to financial statements, this is the forecasted balance sheet for the next 5 years when the new strategy has been implemented. As you can see, the inventory, when the business catch-ups in 2019, the inventory will increase because of high demand, and also we will see a decrease in inventory because it is forecasted that there will be damages due to weather climates. Moving on to the income statements, again sales has been increased to 35 million euros in 2019. That is because when the business catches up and the sales would increase. However, the sales decreases in lastly, when talking about the risk assessment of the firm, the risks are mentioned in PESTEL and SWOT earlier before, and the risk assessment is done only to the business venture in France. The first risk would be the tightened fiscal policy that would increase government taxes. The profit would be certain and the impact is major because of the corporate tax level would increase and the post-tax profits would fall. So we have thought about a strategy to make provisions from now itself for the lost income. Second, longer lead time. Due to the unreliability of the distributor, there might be a longer lead time. It is likely to happen on once or twice a month, and the impact will be again major because of longer lead time. Customers would lose faith in the business, and that the consequence would be orders being delayed. So we have found a strategy to overcome that situation, where we can find other suppliers in France. Then low flexibility. Since it's a highly structured business, it would have low flexibility, but it is remote, so the chance of happening is very minimal. The culture in France is unlikely to change. As I mentioned before, it's a high trend fashion culture in France, so any change is not necessary to the business at this point. From that onwards, I conclude the presentation, and thank you.